PaGhetto Season 10 may have introduced two of the biggest hidden identity mysteries in the whole series, Jabu and Pablo. But what if Pablo is not really a new character? What if Pablo is actually Jeffrey Kabvuwo? In this video, I want to break down a theory that could completely change how we understand Jabu's family story. Because the more I look at Pablo, the more I feel like he may actually be Jabu's father hidden in plain sight. If you've watched season 10, then you know Pablo is clearly not just a random background character. He's powerful, he's calm, and placed right in the middle of an important family storyline. There's even that moment when he's holding Mombeshwara's baby and he says, "Am I doing wrong holding my grandchild?" That line is very important because it shows Pablo is directly tied to a family line. This is not just some side character, his identity matters. Here's why I think Pablo and Jeffrey Kabvuwo are actually one character. Jeffrey Kabvuwo has always been absent. The first reason this theory makes sense is Jeffrey Kabvuwo himself. Jabu's father has always been an absent figure. He does not stay with any of his families for long, and the explanation we keep hearing is that he's always at his God claim. Anugara ari kumamain. That sounds simple at first, but the more the story develops, the more suspicious it becomes. When a character is constantly mentioned but not clearly shown in that role, it usually means the writers are holding something back. So the fact that Jeffrey has remained vague for so long makes it very possible that the show is saving a review. The major second clue is that Jeffrey does not seem to be absent from only one family. We know that he has other families. At this point, we know 3 families. And he does not stay with them for long either. And every time the same excuse comes up, the God claim, Kumamain. That is where things start to look less like a normal absence and more like a double life, or even a triple life. If Jeffrey Kabvuwo is actually Pablo, then that God claim story may have been a cover all along, a convenient reason to move between homes, hide secrets, and avoid accountability. Another important clue is Pablo's presence. He does not carry himself like a minor character. He looks like a man with power, money, and influence. In the scenes we have seen him, he is calm, in control, and even surrounded by armed men. That tells us that Pablo is not just any random character in the story, he is someone important. Pablo's connection to sex trafficking. If Pablo is involved in that kind of criminal world, then we are dealing with someone secretive, powerful, and morally corrupt. And if Jeffrey Kabvuwo is actually Pablo, then that means Jabu's absent father may have been hiding much more than just multiple families. It could mean that the God claim excuse was never the full story. It may have been a cover for a criminal activity, hidden relationships, and a second identity. Now, to be fair, there is still no direct confirmation that Jeffrey Kabvuwo and Pablo are the same person. It is possible that Pablo is simply a separate character with his own family storyline. It is also possible that the show is introducing him as a villain and not as Jabu's father. And of course, the biggest question is the name itself. If he is Jeffrey Kabvuwo, then why is he being called Pablo? Is Pablo a nickname, an alias, a business identity, or are we dealing with 2 different people? Those questions still need an answer. Even with those unanswered questions, I still think this is a strong theory. Jeffrey Kabvuwo's absence, the repeated God claim excuse, the existence of multiple families, Pablo's authority, and the criminal connection all points towards one possibility, that Jeffrey Kabvuwo may actually be Pablo. So what do you think? Is Jeffrey Kabvuwo actually Pablo, or is Pablo a completely separate character?